everyone, it's the History Nerd back with some more Civ 5 German action. Yeah. Comrade Dan, assuming that you're talking about in-game, yeah, we'll have a boat in a turn. Assuming you're talking about in real life, yeah. I mean, despite living in a landlocked area, a boat would be fine. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I've always kind of liked the sea, and just the whole romance behind like a ship out in the middle of, you know, the Atlantic, just sailing away, discovering new lands and all those things. That's always been something I've really enjoyed. Something that's really fascinated me too. I quite like all things naval. So yeah, I love a boat. And if you're talking about a game, we got one. It's just on the wrong side of the freaking continent. For now, anyway. So, yeah. Ugh. Not going well at all. Anyway, if you're interested in Easter Island, you should also read Jared Diamond's Collapse. That is, where I've got all my information about Easter Island, because I haven't really done much other reading up on it. But that's a really good book, and not only does it cover Easter Island. No, Shiza. Why would it do that? Why would it be like, yeah, okay, we'll go there. Thank you. Keep building that. We need it. That's not particularly good, but we can do that. See, I'm not too concerned about the Chinese taking Hamburg. Thankfully, because of its location, it's going to be incredibly hard to take. So that's actually going to work to our advantage for once. Yay! I just need to get some sort of ranged unit in Hamburg, and then we should be able to hold it for a little while anyway. How long for a composite bowman? 19 turns, and I certainly don't have the money to buy one, so we'll just have to go. We'll have to go with the grunt infantry, and we'll get a ranged unit some other time. I can't believe I don't have any. My. This is not going well, ladies and gentlemen. Hector, I'm going to jump to your comment. Despite the negative tone of it, you're probably very right. We're probably screwed. Or, you know, however you put it in your comment. Yeah, keep healing. What do we got going on around the Citadel here? I guess we do have one ranged unit. Yeah? You see, we know we're going to take it, so why can't I just run into the Citadel, which should be able to hold more than just ranged units for one turn, and then boom, take the knight, continue on with life. Oh well. One unit per hex. We're not at war with Spain, so we should be okay there. Man, I should really just give up and start fresh. But that wouldn't be fun. Oh, hello, cat. Yes. And now I can't see my screen. Hurry up. Yeah. Damn animals. Alright, yeah, so read Jared Diamond's Collapse. It's a very good book, and it's kind of old, so, with it being the holiday season, you might be able to find it cheap. Or, since I would imagine Boxing Day is a thing in England as it is here, wait for a Boxing Day sale. Although I don't know if you guys do that. I would imagine you do, right? So, wait for a Boxing Day sale, and, yeah, pick it up on the cheap, because it's a great book. Reading about Greenland in there as well. Like I said, they cover more than just, Easter Island in it, and the stuff about Greenland I found was the most fascinating. Because, I mean, as a Canadian, right, you think, oh, European colonies in harsh climates? Yeah, we got that down. And a lot of lessons were learned in Greenland. I have to say, I would imagine, although this could just be me cooking up weird theories, but I would imagine that, oh, no. Okay, let's do that. Heal. We'll do that. And then we'll do that. I would imagine the, for instance, the French colonists, although I've got no evidence to back this up. This is pure conjecture. So if you're doing a course on, like, why didn't you attack? Go. If you're doing a course on New World colonialism, this is just my theory. So don't take it as, like, gospel or anything. But, like, historical gospel, obviously. I would imagine a lot of lessons learned in Greenland were transferred to the French colonies. I don't know how, but I'm kind of thinking that's what happened. Anyway, fringe historical theories aside, probably that. An enemy settler. You Persian bastards. Yes, a catapult. Where am I? Yes! Read that book! There we go. Slowly getting my thoughts together in the early morning. Well, not really early morning. It's 10 o'clock, but, you know, in the morning. I'm a very lazy person. Actually, that's not true. I'm a night person. And damn this world we live in that forces night people to, if they want any sort of success, to not be able to follow what they... Jeez, crow, why the heck does China have such a big army? You don't need to answer that. It's pretty self-explanatory. There we go. You, well, we'll just take care of that. Good. Now, you see, the unfortunate thing here is just how many Chinese I'm killing when I want to focus on the Persians. It's frustrating. Blowfly. You're absolutely right. Me saying that communism is a political system isn't, like, strictly true. It isn't. It's a socio-economic system. It's a way to structure your society for distribution of goods and things like that. So it's definitely a socio-economic system. However, and you're absolutely right, it's a socio-economic system that's heavily dependent on an authoritarian rule. And that's where we get into issues. Or that's where communism runs into issues. Terribly sorry for that. Blowing my nose. It's not very professional, is it? Thankfully, this is a hobby, not a profession. I have to tell you to finish your farm and to tell you to finish your lumber mill. And it's because it's dependent on that authoritarian rule that, well, yes, the original idea certainly was to have a very open and democratic process behind it. And if you take a look at, I forget the name, like the name they used, but the original Soviets, right? The naval crews who came into, where was it? Oh, some Russian port. I can't recall the name, and I really should have looked that up before I started recording, so I could keep the historical accuracy at a maximum. But these original Navy crews wanted very localized democratic systems. And originally, it looked like that's the way the revolution was going to go. And these naval crews became like the shock troops of the revolution because they were trained military personnel who knew how to use firearms and discipline and all that other stuff. And they were very, very effective in getting the initial victories for the Reds during the revolution. Now, that being said, It didn't stay that way, obviously, because just the nature of the revolution. It became more and more about Lenin and his group, and eventually the Leninists, or the Bolsheviks. There's the word I'm looking for. The Bolsheviks wound up, quote unquote, silencing these initial revolutionaries. There was a really cool documentary I saw on YouTube about it. Wish I could remember the title. But, alright, we can actually cut into the rear guard of the Chinese military here. Just keep the workers safe. Okay, so if they jump in, we'll be able to hit them no matter what. Excellent. Excuse me. So yeah, I'll dig around on YouTube, see if I can find that documentary, and I'll post a link in the description if and when I find it, or maybe in the next Civ video, something like that. Either way, I'll do my best to find that documentary and post it, because it's a really good watch. It's really good. So yeah, highly recommend that. What else have we got? Now, your comments about... Where did those knights go? Okay, we'll leave them there. You're absolutely right. About Christianity becoming the state religion. However, the imperial period starts with Augustus. Let's say with the end of Augustus' reign, we can safely say that Rome's an empire. That happens in like 20, 30 something. Christianity doesn't become the state religion of Rome until, rough guess, let's just peg it at the Council of Nicaea in 325. So you've got this period where Rome's an empire, and it has a very inclusive religious system. I think that's partially why Rome was able to get such a successful empire built, because it was very inclusive. Then when they adopt Christianity, I think a large part of that adoption is to create some sort of social cohesion within the empire, and so you can see the shift in Roman social structure to oh, come on, arg. Okay. Can we... No. Eesh, that was a very bad move. We're probably going to wind up losing that swordsman. Oh, excuse me. With the adoption of Christianity, that's when you see Rome really pushing towards more of a unified social structure. And, that, of course... I guess I could have left him there. Oh well. Lesson learned. Keep you covered. And if we move you there, we can help out. Excellent. There. That it is difficult to think of history topics and discussions, despite my notes. It's difficult to think of talking while I'm focused on fighting a war. We need to keep him there, because yes, okay, yes, I'm happy with that. So yeah, we see that increased social cohesion. Then with the fall of the Western Empire, that social cohesion stays. And I think that's what's interesting, is that even without the centralized Roman political system, you still see the Roman... There we go. The Roman social aspects stay, and indeed become much, much stronger than they were with the empire. So I think that's one of the most interesting things about Christianity, is that it sticks around well after the fall of the Western Empire in the West. In the East, it becomes an integral part of the empire, and you know, we can look at the Great Schism in 1054, and the divide between West and East when it comes to yeah, let's do that, and then we'll do that. When it comes to using religion as a social control. But I would say a lot of the success of the early empire has to do with the incredibly inclusive religion of pagan Rome. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Monty Productions. I think over the last 60 years, we've seen a massive boost, or a massive rise in just the world's population in the West. And I think we're starting to see that tail off in the West, but we're seeing it happen in the rest of the world now. And you know, it's something that always happens with humanity. You know, we got periods where times are good, populations explode, and then we hit a critical point where times stop being so good, and you know, there's going to be some sort of critical thing that happens, whether it be famine, disease, conflicts over resources, something to bring it all back into balance. And I think that's, and you know, you take a look at the world, that's where we're headed. So it's going to happen. But yeah, you know, such is life, such is history. And I wouldn't say Christianity was a death knell for the empire. I think by 325, you're already seeing a shift in power from west to east. I mean, there was always, the East was always far more powerful than the West. That's just the nature of how things were going. Yes, China, flee. Hold on, let's get all our military here so we can heal up, get ourselves some siege weapons, and then we can start pushing into Western Persia here. Certainly. Oh, excuse me. Certainly. There we go. Ah, good. Our peace treaty with Isabel's done, so we've got resources again. It's always a good thing. We'll leave him here, and we'll see if we can get sort of a pincer movement on Susa there. That's not good. Let's move this worker someplace safe, like the Citadel. And sleep. Yeah, it certainly wasn't a death knell, and Christianity was more successful than the Empire, well, than the Western Empire, for sure. So I think what it did was it allowed some of the cultural ideals of Rome to continue after the political structure and the political institutions of the Roman Empire in the West fell. So I think it was actually kind of a good thing for the Romans to do, as opposed to it being a death knell for the Empire. What brought the end of the West certainly wasn't just Christianity. There were a lot of reasons why the West fell, but I wouldn't say Christianity was one of them. Let's see. Now, this is a really cool question. I think it depends on the Battle of Thermopylae there. I think it depends on how the Greeks would have conducted the war. If they kept it a defensive war, then yes, absolutely they would have won. They knew the land, they had better infantry, and their navies could operate close to ports under their control, as opposed to, Persian navies which were operating quote-unquote in foreign land. Now, I mean, it wasn't really foreign land, but for all intents and purposes, it can be considered that. Not to mention you've got your military far away from the center of power for your empire. So, I really do. If the Greeks had turned around and decided to try and take land from Persia and turn it into an offensive war, I think it would have collapsed quickly. The Greeks were many things. They weren't all that adept at working together. We have to remember it's not a cohesive unit, the Greek city-states. They weren't all one cohesive group, right? They were an alliance. And, well, the alliance was under threat, and they had a common enemy and a common concern of, if we don't smarten up and work together, we're going to lose our empire. Musketmen. Is he in range? Damn those hills! Okay. Hey, we're gonna have to keep this on defensive. I don't really have any sort of way to take on musketmen. That's concerning. Okay, let's move you there. Move you up there. And then maybe we can do something. Keep you there to halt any sort of Chinese advance. And I'm more concerned about hitting naval units. And with iron, we can build more swordsmen. Or perhaps another catapult. We've got quite a lot of infantry there. Let's go with the catapult. And let's start moving towards Susa. Now, what concerns me about the Persians here is their freaking gunpowder units. I don't know how they got those so early. Or why Germany is so far behind. Well, I know why Germany's so far behind. We've been fighting wars non-stop since basically the game started. I should use my workers to at least cut down that forest. We've got the camp already in place, so that might not be a bad idea. Get some better range on there. Probably chop that one down as well. Just hold there. Next turn. So yeah, they certainly would have been able to hold off the Persians. I'm confident of that. Alright, my southern push here isn't gonna amount to much. I definitely want to keep that. And of course, the Chinese are coming back. Let's just make sure they're really not able to get anything shifted naval-wise. Okay, we'll have to do some maneuvering like so. Not gonna go and engage their long swordsmen. How are we gonna do this? Lack of ranged troops really kinda cuts into things. minor victory there. It might be a minor defeat for me, but at least we'll knock him down a peg or two. I was hoping to knock him down maybe 2 pegs there. That didn't really work. Okay. Not looking great, but I've seen worse. Okay, and then my opinions on World of Tanks. What I didn't like about it. And it just has to do with the structure of the game. I didn't like that I started off with a crappy tank and got killed a lot. That's basically what happened. So that's why I jumped in on the beta of World of Warplanes, and I hope to be doing the same with World of Warships. I really hope to get into that, because that the South is just gonna lose. Damn those trees! Oh, there's so many things that I'm not liking about this. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it could be a fun game if I put the time and effort into it, but, you know, honestly, I just can't be bothered, which is, you know, a shame to say, because it really does look like a fun game, but, yeah, just way too complicated. Way too much time effort involved in that game is really the only thing I've got against it. I mean, it looks like you quite enjoy it, so good on you, sir. I could never really get into that. There are too many people who've played it for too long for me to be any sort of successful at it. And then Hector, I've addressed you before, you know, Negative Nancy, boomerins to that, but man, you're probably right. This game is not going at all how I had hoped nor intended. But I'm confident we can make some sort of comeback here. I'm gonna lose that catapult. At least I've distracted some of his units to focus on efforts down here. Composite bowman. We really should move you out. There we go. Alright. Things are looking okay in the center. And we've got that built up, so we'll just put you to sleep. Thank you guys again for all the great questions. And yeah, if you guys are using my quote-unquote wealth of knowledge to help out in school coursework or whatever, that more power to you guys. If I can be helpful in that way, absolutely, I'm more than happy to assist. Again, though, just I don't know how accurate I am, but yeah, if I can help you guys in any way, shape, or form with any sort of coursework or what have you that you're doing, yes, I'm more than happy to assist and to just use what education I've received in some way, because let's face it, in the real world, there's not really much of an application for history. And it's sad, because history is incredibly important. And in the world we live in, I think we lose that context and that understanding that, you know what, we have to know where we came from. We have to understand what happened before us. Because if we don't, you know, we're doomed to repeat all the same mistakes. And I hate that cliche that, you know, history repeats itself, but in a way it does. And it's important to remember that. But I mean, if any of you out there are out there to get a history degree, I'm sorry. Just straight up, I'm sorry. It's not... You're gonna learn skills that are useful. Writing skills, research skills, organizational skills. But, for the most part, this world doesn't appreciate what you know. That's sad. But that doesn't mean don't do it. By all means, get your degrees. Okay, how do we want to go about doing this? Give me him. No, because he'll probably run away. Oh, come on. What do we want? Oh, we'll take their siege unit. For sure, take that out. Protect the south. Another catapult on the way. I'm starting to Whoa! What? One shot my catapult? Since when can cities do that? Thank you. You know, India, Ottoman Empire, I appreciate the votes of help and friendship and all these other things. If you guys want to freaking actually help in the war, I would appreciate that. That would be super helpful. So, thankfully there's no walls in Susa. But damn, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be real difficult to take that city. No ranged units. Crossbowmen. Ugh. Okay, well let's start picking away at their ranged units then. And I guess we should start hitting the city. That looks horrible, to be honest. We really need help down here. There we go. Oh, jeez. Well, at least the crossbowman won't be able to pick off that lance-necked unit. Yes, great, wonderful. How about you guys help? Please. We are so far behind, technologically speaking. Okay. Thank you, Isabel. You're a bitch. Accuracy, I suppose. he's just gonna get destroyed that turn. Alright. We don't have much of a choice. We really need to take this city. And while it's tempting to go and kill their general, no, we definitely need to hit the city. Oh, good. Boost you up and then finally kill that stupid knight. Berlin, we should probably build another catapult, because I imagine we're only going to get a turn or two with those shooting before things turn bad. Is it gonna... It's not gonna be able to shoot over the stupid hill, is it? Okay. Go there. I should have done that first. Not that that helps much, but every little bit counts, I suppose. Rest up. Hopefully you can survive a round. There's really no place for that worker to go at the moment. And we should build a composite bowman for defense. Next turn. Oh, good. Sousa's just produced a musketman. That's what I wanted to see. Yeah, even if we are able to take the city, which we're not going to be able to, but even if we are able to take it, we're never going to be able to hold it. Ugh. Discuss. How would you like to declare war on Persia? Okay, India. Discuss. How would you like to declare war against China? You guys are horrible friends. Why wouldn't India want to declare war on China? I mean, really, come on. That just makes sense. That's really not worth it. An unmet player has entered the Industrial Era in 1390. This is why I don't play on harder difficulty levels. Call me an idiot, call me a wimp, call me a horrible Civ player, whatever. 1390 and you hit the Industrial Era? No. That just doesn't make any sense. Have we got any sort of military units nearby? We can get him down, hopefully. That it really matters that Catapult's likely to get one-shotted again. Why? Why are we... Fine. Throw that scout away, I really don't care. What's our biggest threat? Rifleman. Just get lucky and kill them all. Nope. Alright, well, I can safely say, ladies and gentlemen, happy, wonderful viewers of my Civ Let's Plays, Germany's been oft requested. And if this continues to go the way it does, I promise to do another Germany playthrough, because this is not doing the Empire justice. It really isn't. Oh, good. Commerce. We need the money. What's coming down the pipe? We need defense. So a catapult for defense, that should be good. Oh, we were so close. So close. At least we'll get him into cover. Yes, hit Sousa. That really matters. Biggest threat is the actual units that can take the city. And with defeat staring us in the face, I think I'm going to end the video here. I might even end the series here. I don't know. Leave your comments below. You want me to restart? I will happily do so. If you want to see the end of this playthrough and watch Hamburg fall to the Chinese, Cologne fall to the Persians, and who knows, we can watch the battle for Berlin. Let me know. Also, if you're enjoying it, thumbs up. Why not? You know? But I really don't think I can make it through this. I think this game is pretty much lost. What can you do? Leave your comments, what you want to see in the descriptions below. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Yes, I'm sure I want to do that.